Welcome to my series on how to raise quail. This is one of your housing options for quail if you choose to keep a few of them. This is a really compact and basically plug and play cage that doesn't take much space at all, and you can keep quite a number of quail in here. One of my favorite features of this cage is that it has a sloping floor so that when the quail lay their eggs, they actually roll to the front of the cage. Also, it comes with a built-in feeder that's very convenient, and also it comes with a water bucket with a hose attached to a watering cup. So all of this, you can get all of this for about $100. I actually met the couple who make these cages. They actually just make it in their home, and they're in Southern California. Wonderful couple. So if you choose this option to house your quail, let me be clear that this is absolutely not an outdoor cage. If you live in an area where there are predators like raccoons, I'll tell you why. It is actually the reason why I now have the cage, because my friend gave it to me after she had some really bad stuff happening to her quail. So what happened was she went on vacation, and she had a neighbor come over and check in on the quail. She kept this cage outside in her porch, like under a patio, so it was not, rained on or anything. Not that we get that much rain here in Southern California. But one day her neighbor came over and there was just blood, and so a raccoon probably came in and through those the holes, reach in the claws, and really did a number on some of the birds. So that really traumatized my friend, and then she was done with this cage. She doesn't want any more. She still wants to keep her quail outside, so she built a more sturdy and more predator proof quail cage. So please, if you choose to get this cage for your birds, please do not keep it outside. If your area has predators like raccoons, if you do keep it outside, maybe reinforce it with some more sturdy and more predator proof material. I am now using this cage as my spare cage in case I need to move the birds from their home so I can clean it. I also use it when there is some quail that I need to isolate from others due to injury. So it's kind of like a little hospital for them. So I will tell you something that's kind of interesting about this cage and about the recommendations that I keep hearing from people who keep quail. And especially this recommendation comes from the people who made this cage and cages like these. I went to their place and I saw how many birds they can keep in a cage like this. So the recommendation, usually if you look online, you'll see that it's anywhere between 1 bird to 5 birds per square foot of space. So if I remember correctly, when my friend and I went and when she bought this cage, I think they told us that you can fit something like 20 in here, which I think is a little bit crazy. I probably would not stuff that many birds in here. I think I have, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 birds in there, and they seem to be pretty happy. Here is a look at the cage without the birds and all the parts that it came with. So like I mentioned, there is, in the front there is the feed tray that is removable. You can store quite a bit of food here. Like I had already mentioned, it comes with a water bucket with a hose attachment to a watering cup there, and you can attach it to the cage. I love the simplicity and the design of this cage, but there's one pet peeve that I have is the opening right there is so small that it's very difficult to fit anything in there. So if I want to put a sand box in there for the birds, it will be very difficult to fit anything in there because the opening is so tiny. I think this little guy is really sweet. Oh my goodness. So sweet. Here you go. Ready? Other than that, I think this is a beautiful cage, especially if you're starting out and you're just looking for something to keep half a dozen birds or so. I think this is a really good choice, especially if you keep them inside. This is pretty much all I have to say about this cage. If you have any further questions or any comments, please leave them below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.